She sold off a multi-million-pound property, burned through the cash in record time, and was left backed completely into a corner. But instead of quietly stepping back, Sarah Ferguson allegedly turned right around and made a series of shocking financial demands directly to the royal family. Facing total financial ruin and running out of options, whispers are growing that she is holding the ultimate bargaining chip. A tell-all story that could expose the private secrets of King Charles, Queen Camilla, and Princess Diana to the entire world. Make sure to stick around until the very end, because the single decision that triggered this whole crisis is something nobody saw coming. And if you love staying up to date on all things royal, hit that like button and subscribe to join our family. It really helps the channel grow. It all started with a real estate deal so shocking it left the entire royal world in absolute disbelief. In August, land registry documents revealed that Sarah Ferguson quietly completed the sale of her luxury Mews townhouse in Belgravia, London. The final price tag was £3.85 million. Now, on paper, £3.85 million sounds like a total fortune. But here is where things get truly mind-blowing. Just 3 years earlier, in June 2022, Sarah Ferguson bought that exact same home in cash for £4.25 million. That means in one single move, the Duchess of York took a devastating loss of £400,000. In the ultra-exclusive London property market, losing $500,000 overnight isn't just a bad investment, it is a complete financial nightmare. Property experts were completely stunned. Why would someone who bought a house as an investment for her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, sell it so quickly at such a massive loss? Was she desperately scrambling for liquid cash? Her spokesperson quickly claimed she wasn't looking to sell, but simply agreed when her tenant asked to buy the place. But top real estate insiders in London tell a very different story. They pointed out that prime central London properties had already dropped in value, and Sarah Ferguson was lucky to even get £3.85 million before the market sank any lower. To understand why she needed that cash so badly, you have to look at where all her money was actually going. For decades, Sarah Ferguson has lived like a top-tier, full-time working royal, even though her actual bank account tells a completely different story. Reports suggest her spending habits have been totally out of control for years. We are talking about 5-star luxury holidays in Portugal, high-end weight loss spas, exclusive shopping trips, and constant trips to expensive ski spots like Verbier in Switzerland. At one point, her and her ex-husband Andrew even got dragged into a massive court battle over an unpaid multi-million-pound debt on their Swiss luxury chalet. Insiders revealed that at her absolute peak of overspending, Sarah Ferguson was keeping a personal staff of 17 people, including a cook, a private driver, a butler, a lady-in-waiting, a dresser, 2 gardeners, and 2 separate accountants. Former employees even leaked unbelievable details about her lifestyle, claiming she once demanded elaborate medieval-style banquets every single night, only for most of the food to be thrown away the very next day. Add in her failed business ventures, like her wellness company Heartmore collapse that left $1 million in debt, plus non-stop legal fees, personal loans, and over 200 different creditors chasing her for money, and the picture becomes crystal clear. Sarah Ferguson was spending money faster than she could ever print it. So, to keep up with the lifestyle of King Charles, Prince William, and the rest of the royal family, she burned through cash, took out massive loans, and made one risky deal after another. She wanted the world to see her as a glamorous royal icon. But without an official palace salary or financial backing from Queen Elizabeth, the math simply did not add up. Now, after losing £400,000 on a single London townhouse, Sarah Ferguson is rapidly running out of road. And that brings us to the most dangerous question of all. Where does a former duchess turn when all her cash completely dries up? While losing a fortune on real estate was a massive hit to her wallet, it wasn't the real reason the palace slammed the door in Sarah Ferguson's face. The true breaking point, the nightmare that shattered her public image beyond repair, was her dark, disturbing connection to the disgraced American financier Jeffrey Epstein. For years, rumors circulated about how deep that relationship really went. But when leaked court documents and internal emails surfaced, the public was left in complete disbelief. Reports revealed that when Sarah Ferguson was drowning in millions of pounds of debt, Jeffrey Epstein stepped in as her personal safety net. She publicly admitted to taking £15,000 from him just to pay off her personal staff and overdue rent. At first, she went on global television to apologize, swearing she abhorred his actions and promised never to speak to him again. But the scandal exploded to a whole new level when a hidden email leaked online. In that message, sent shortly after her public apology, Sarah Ferguson humbly apologized to Epstein himself, calling the convicted offender a steadfast, generous and supreme friend to her and her family. The fallout was instantaneous and brutal. Royal commentators described the public trust as being completely destroyed overnight. Up until that point, the British public had viewed Sarah Ferguson as a flawed, clumsy, but ultimately lovable underdog. Suddenly, that public perception inverted. Viewers saw her as someone willing to overlook horrifying crimes just to keep her wealthy lifestyle afloat. Media outlets launched a relentless wave of criticism, and major charities immediately cut all ties. Organizations like the Teenage Cancer Trust, which she had represented for over 35 years, along with children's hospices and health foundations, dropped her as their patron in a matter of hours. They made it clear that her presence was a direct threat to their mission. For King Charles, Prince William, and those closest to the royal family, this created one of the biggest reputational crises in modern history. It wasn't just Sarah Ferguson's name in the mud. She was dragging her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, into the headlines, along with the entire palace. Royal experts pointed out that every time her ties to Epstein were exposed, it reopened the massive wounds connected to her ex-husband, Andrew. Rebuilding trust became virtually impossible. Even though her spokesperson claimed she sent the email under legal pressure after Epstein threatened to sue her, the public wasn't buying it. The damage was done. The palace realized that associating with Sarah Ferguson was a risk they could no longer afford. By the time her finances began completely collapsing, years of non-stop controversy had stripped away her public sympathy, leaving her isolated without a royal lifeline. With no money left in her bank account and her public reputation in tatters, Sarah Ferguson allegedly did the one thing the palace feared most. Reports suggest she went straight to King Charles, desperately reaching out for a financial lifeline. She believed that after nearly 40 years of total loyalty to the royal family, she deserved protection. After all, she was still the mother of Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. For decades, when she was in trouble, Queen Elizabeth was always there to quietly help soften the blow. But Queen Elizabeth is gone, and the rules inside the palace have completely changed. King Charles has made his vision crystal clear: a slimmed-down, modern monarchy where taxpayers only fund working royals who carry out official duties. Giving Sarah Ferguson millions of pounds in financial assistance would spark a massive public outrage overnight. And Prince William is reportedly taking an even tougher line. Insiders say Prince William is firmly focused on protecting the future of the palace, and he sees zero reason to bail out a non-working royal who continuously gets dragged into embarrassing scandals. To him, giving in to these requests sets a dangerous precedent that could damage the monarchy for generations. This clash has reportedly triggered intense debate behind palace doors. While King Charles reportedly worries about what Sarah Ferguson might do if she gets completely backed into a corner, Prince William refuses to compromise. With her credit cards maxed out, her book deals drying up, and no royal allowance coming her way, Sarah Ferguson finds herself completely cut off. And that is precisely why the situation has suddenly become so dangerous. With few financial options remaining, speculation has turned to one final move, a single drastic choice that could shake the monarchy to its very core. When you have nothing left to lose, the truth becomes your most powerful asset. Rumors indicate that US television networks and global streaming giants are already dangling multi-million-pound deals in front of Sarah Ferguson, desperate for her to sit down for a massive, unedited, tell-all interview. Palace aides are reportedly terrified. And honestly, can you blame them? Sarah Ferguson spent decades inside the inner circle. She was there for the most defining, explosive moments in modern royal history. She didn't just witness the drama from afar. She lived it side by side with Princess Diana, King Charles and Queen Camilla. Think about what she actually knows. She was Princess Diana's closest friend and confidant before things got complicated. She knew the real, unedited truth about Diana's struggles behind closed palace doors, the true dynamic of King Charles and Diana's crumbling marriage, and the exact role Queen Camilla played during those turbulent years. If Sarah Ferguson decides to break her silence and tell her complete story, the impact would be seismic. Major publishers and TV producers know that a raw, unfiltered sit-down with Sarah Ferguson could break streaming records overnight. She could finally reveal what really happened during her own bitter exit, how senior staff treated those who didn't fit the royal mold, and what King Charles is truly like when the cameras stop rolling. Reports suggest her team is weighing the options carefully. While she has always stayed fiercely loyal to the memory of Queen Elizabeth, her current financial reality might leave her with no other choice. Whether such an interview ever happens remains uncertain. But even the possibility continues to fuel intense public fascination because few people witnessed so many defining moments of modern royal history from the absolute inside. When you look at the full picture, Sarah Ferguson's story is no longer just about royalty. It has become a cautionary tale about fame, money, and public image. For decades, she tried to balance a multi-million-pound lifestyle with a dwindling bank account, relying on quick fixes, bad property deals, and risky financial ties that ultimately blew up in her face. Now, with her public image deeply damaged, her charities gone, and the palace firmly closing its doors, she is facing the hardest reality of her life. Queen Elizabeth is no longer there to protect her, King Charles is streamlining the entire monarchy, and the public's patience has completely run out. Whether she chooses to do a massive tell-all interview or quiet down for good, one thing is certain. The choices she made over the last 30 years have caught up with her, leaving her with very few moves left on the board. What do you think about Sarah Ferguson's situation? Do you believe she deserves financial support from the royal family because of her long history with them? Or should King Charles leave her to stand completely on her own? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one.